Hello everyone. Uh, Today we are going to create a Mac, and now let's get started. To construct a head of the Mac, let's add a cube. To add a cube, let's press Shift and then A and add a cube. Let me show my screencast. If you can't identify what button I'm pressing, you can look at the right bottom corner out here. Now let's make the head of a Mac. So to do this, press Tab to go to the edit mode, and now select these edges and each, and then press Ctrl B for bevel, so that we don't want Mac head to be totally square. And let's add a bevel out here too. And let's add out here. So Control B. One thing is, I forgot to mention that we are going to have to create separately, but we don't want to create both of side. We just want to create another, then we are going to mirror it. So let's apply a mirror. To do this, you can create go to the side front view. We Control 1, Control 2. And let's add a loop cut. Control R, and then bring it to middle, and then we added a loop cut. Now go to screen overlay, X-ray mode, and select. Press number 3 to select the faces, and then select half of the part, and let's delete it. Delete faces. And now what we are going to do is we are going to mirror this side. To do this, select this side, and then press in this range button and add modifier, and then let's go to the mirror modifier, and let's add a mirror. Now we've added the mirror, so it's better to use clipping so that it won't separate. For example, like it's separating right now, but if we click tick on the checkbox in clipping, then it will not separate from each other. It will stay always together in the center point. So by doing this, we don't have to create each side separately, so we can work on one side and it will automatically done in another side. So let's bevel this inset. Let's put inset. I think I'm going to find B, press B to insert in one side, and now I'm going to let's extrude inward. Maybe we can extrude outward. And now let's create a dent out here by inserting inset, so press I and then B. I think I need to do I and B. Nope, it's not working. I and B. Yep, Control B is not B. And let's create a dent out here. So to create a dent, let's extrude it by pressing E, inward. It's went too deep, so let's bring it out a little bit. Press G and double G. Yep, now it's look great. So let's add a new inset out here. We can select this face and then press I, and let's extrude inward. So this will be used as a window of the Mac. And now it's look pretty much good. So now I want to go to font mode and then A and G and bring it out here. Now I'm going to add a sphere so that it can rotate. So press Shift and A and pressed. I'm going to use Echo Sphere and scale it down. I think we need to first go to object mode so that we can edit each object later separately. So now let's add Echo Sphere. It's looking great right now. We don't have to do anything. So now we are going to create the leg piece. So to do that, we're going to start with the cylinder. So let's add cylinder, Shift A and mesh, go to cylinder. We don't need 32 vertex, so maybe we can scale it down, maybe 12. It's looking great. Press 12 and then let's scale it down. Let's scale in Z-axis. Let's rotate in Y-axis, so R, Y, and then 90. And G and Z to bring it down. Now let's mirror this. I'm going to mirror it, going to the edit mode, then Control R to press enter lookup. Now we have added a lookup, press 3 and then go to extrude mode, select half of the part and delete it, and select edges, and let's Control A and then go to modifier, add modifier, and then select mirror modifier. I think it's not working. Let me redo this one. Pressed and select delete key. Oh, it's not edges, it's faces, I think. Yep. Now it will work properly. Go to mirror modifier and select the mesh, half the mesh, and then go to mirror modifier. It's not working. Yep, it's set false value. click. So press A, maybe X. Yep, that's great. And let's turn on the clipping. Now we're going to back, and then we're going to edit this one. Now let's say we're going to grab this G and then X to move in X-axis. This much is very good. And what I want to do is I want to extrude it, then scale it. So E for extrude and S for scale. Scale towards inside, and yeah, that's good. And again extrude, and then in X-axis. Let's make. And now we're going to add another loop cut. Control R. Maybe this time we're going to add 2 loop cuts. It's looking great. And then Alt, press number 3 to select faces, and then Alt, and then click on faces. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to extrude. So extrude inward. So let's say press E and then S and extrude inside. In this area we're going to add a lake with cube. So before that I want to make sure that we can create upper one. So maybe let's select these faces and then press G and then X. Oh, there's some big issue out here. So right now let me hide this cube, and then I could spare. It's a problem of, I think it's a problem of extrude. No, let's solve this problem by pressing 3. And let's select all the faces and then delete faces. That's good. So press number 2 and then select the edges, and let's extrude inside E and S. Yep, that's good. And then let's select these 2 faces, then press F. Now let's select one edges, and then let's press F to fill the gap. Now it's good. So I want to add a new, maybe not a new loop cut. I can edit with this loop cut. Press number 2 and then Alt, left click, and then move it towards center. So press G and X axis, and right here, and then I'm going to select this loop, and I'm going to extrude and then scale inward. Maybe it's looking weird right now. It's okay, even though I'm going to undo. G, X, a little bit outside, and then select, and then E, and then S. Maybe let's create a big one. S. Oh, it's moving in all the directions, so we don't want to scale in X-axis, only Y and Z. To do that, undo, and pressed S and then Shift X to unselect the X-axis. Oh, I forgot to extrude. Oh, E and then S, Shift X to exclude X-axis, and then scale in, scale out. And let's add another loop cut by pressing Ctrl R, and then press 3, and then I want to select inner faces, and then I'm going to extrude inward, so press E and then S, drag inward. Yeah, that's much more better. And now I want to join this with this icosphere. So before that, let's drag a little bit down, so press G and then Z, drag it down. Now I'm going to add a new cube, so press Shift A and go to cube and scale up in the axis, and press G and then Z, drag it down. I think I need to scale it inward towards y-axis and x-axis, so to press scaling down S and then Shift Z to exclude that axis, and then bring it inward. Let's edit from the side view. Let's go to edit mode and then Alt Z to extrude mode, select one face, Shift G, and then inside axis let's say I'm going to paint. It's looking kind of weird right now, it went too long, so let's see, and then tab, let's go to front mode and select G and Z, drag upward and in the number pad, and go to side view and then tab, and I'm going to rotate it a bit, and then G and then Y, that's great, and then G, Y, maybe G, and press G and then drag it upward. It's all to align. I'll see. Oh, it's looking good. Now let's duplicate this cube, so press Shift D to duplicate and bring it up here, and then press 3 in the side view. Let's go to in extra mode, then G, drag it out here, and we want to scale a bit, so press S and then drag. Maybe this much is better, so G, drag out here. It's looking good. It's looking good. So G, maybe we need to scale it down a little bit, so S, X, axis. That's great. Yep, that's good. So let's drag this one, select these faces and select this face, and then press G, double G. No. Also press G and then double Z. So let's drag it out here, and that's looking good. Now I'm going to use this as a knee part of the Mac. So let's get in your object mode, select this one and press tab, and then select this round and then Control plus, no, it's Control, select this one and then control plus and blast to copy this one, and then let's duplicate. So press shift and then D and drag up, and let's separate it from the main Excel. So then Alt, maybe press Control B. Nope, it's Alt B. It's separate, so S. No. If it's not working, then go to Mesh, and I forgot, so it's only P. I forgot the shortcut. So let separate by P. I mean selection. Now it's separated and it's a different object. So go to object mode and then press you go to front view and then drag it down. So G and Z. And let's go to side view, X remote, and then G. Let's align it. Let's scale it down a bit. Maybe scale in the Z and Y axis. So maybe all, and then press arrange this part. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Now arrange it a bit. It's looking all good. Let's go to side view and let's copy this one. So shift T to duplicate and then bring it out here, and then let's rotate it. And maybe G. Or wait, and then G. Yep, it's looking all good. And now let's create another cube. I pressed shift, no, control 1, I think it's 1, control 1 to reverse, and then zoom in and shift A, and then let's add a new cube, scale it down and press G to drag, grab, and then align it with the. Now we are going to create a foot of Mac. So let's reverse it. So let's go to tab, edit mode by pressing tab, and go to vertex by pressing 1. So let's drag this in y-axis. So let's drag a bit down, G and then Z. I think we need to add a new loop cut, so Ctrl R and then drag maybe out here. Yep, it's looking good. So G and Y, drag a bit and then drag it down, and G and Z. Now it's looking great. So go to object mode. And now we're going to duplicate this one by pressing shift. Let's go to from top view, shift D and then R to rotate, maybe R and Z and 90. That's correct. Let's scale it down, so S, drag and then in y-axis, S and Y. Let's align it. G and then X. Let's go to tab and then drag it a little bit up, so it's now it's looking all good. We need to drag a little bit down, so shift select this two and then G, Z, drag it down. We need to edit, maybe we need to create this a little bit longer, so press G and then X, G, Z to bring it down like this. Maybe it's too long. Yep, it's looking good. Let's add another cube. To do that, press Shift A, mesh, and then select cube, scale it down by pressing S, and then grab it by pressing G and press the Apurate key to focus on the mesh. Let's scale it in x-axis. G and X, press Shift to move by few inches, then G and press Y, move it in x-axis, y-axis. Yep. Let's edit this cube. Press Alt Z to go to extra mode, and then drag it down by pressing G and then Z. Another thing, press G and Z and then pressing Shift to move by a little. Go to the side view, select this one and then G and y-axis a little bit down, so bring it down by G and then Z. It's looking all good. Let's duplicate this one, go to and then Control D and then rotate by R in Z axis, R and Z by pressing -90, not 90, by -180. Yep, that's good. Go to front view and then press G and then X to drag it in x-axis. Now it's all good. Now let's mirror this to this side by selecting all the. Let's select this one and then let's add a mirror modifier and then select the object. I'm going to mirror on this point and select, maybe why not, yep, in C, and let's link the modifier to other foot. So maybe before that I'm going to join this, because this can be act as a one part, so press J, I think, to join. No, it's not joined yet, so press Control Z, Control J to join. Now it's joined and it's become a part of one. I forgot to fill this gap, so press tab and then press number 2 and then alt and select our each loop and then press F to fill. Now it's all good. Let's edit this a little bit. Control A, then S, and in x-axis, it's become to be maybe a little bit this one, and Shift C, and then I'm going to select Control Z. It's looking not good, so let's select this much and then press G and then x-axis. Let's move it and then press G and X. Up. Press A and the G and x-axis and then drag it forward. Yep, that's all good now. So back to object mode and then Alt Z. I think we need to exit this one. Let's add the new mirror modifier and let's select the object, this pivot point, select Z, and then yeah, it's all great. Now let's link the other object, select the objects and then select the last object and shift and then left click, and the current selected object is this cube. It will appear as orange, then other is kind of red orange, so that whenever you want to transfer one modifier or texture to another, you need to select select the object which have the modifier or the textures, and after selecting then press Ctrl L to link. Right now we're going to link the modifier, so let's link the object data. It's not pointing. It's not working right now, so let's say in the long way, add a modifier and then mirror modifier, and then let's click in time. Let's repeat the process. So let's select this and then select this object. Yep, now it's all good. Now let's create a weapon of this mag. So to create a weapon, I'm going it's looking so weird because of the head is too small and the leg is too big, so I'm going to scale this one. Yeah, now it's looking good. Now pressed Shift A. Let's create a weapon out of cylinder, so go to mesh and then add the cylinder and rotate it in the x-axis, so R and then X 90. That's great. And scale it down and then G to drag. Let's scale in y-axis a bit lower. That's great. Let's scale an overall size, and then yeah, it's all good now. Now let's edit this by pressing tab or press number 3, and then let's add inset. So press I, inset, and we're going to extrude inward. This one, that's great, and then again insert, so that we want to create a weapon like a machine gun. So let's extrude outward now. Now I'm going to cut this into like kind of diagonal. You cannot do with a rotating thing because it will it will not work properly, and it will not good, it will look not good. So let's by doing smear. To do that, press Ctrl Alt Shift and then press S and drag it. Yep, now it's all good. That's good. Side view, let's redo this. Ctrl Alt then Shift and then S to add a smear. Or you can select by typing, by pressing F3 to open the search dialog box, and then maybe smear. You can see by pressing smear. I just forgot the spelling, so it's kind of weird. Now let's add an inset and then extrude. Nope. G and then Y. G, Y, and then drag inward, and then again insert, and then extrude by press. Oh no, it's not to go. So press G and then Y. Pull it out. Yeah, it's all good. It's kind of looking weird, so let's drag it by Y. Let's make it a little shorter. So press G and then Y, and Control press 3, and then let's do it once again. Let's add inset. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh no, it's not good. So I, then drag it down, and then E, and then G, and then Y. Oh, G and then Y. Let's drag inward and GY a little bit inward, and then GY. No, I think I forgot to extrude. So E and then G and then Y. Oh, it's not working properly, so let's do it separately. Select this face and the G and Y, and G. It's looking all good. And last one thing, press I to add inset to create a hole, so that you can I, and then E, press right click and then G and Y. Yeah, now it's good. Let's create a lookout out here. Let's create some designs. I'm going to create a new, and then S, and maybe in Y, and bring it inward, and go to phase 3, and then select lookout. Yeah, and then let's extrude insert, just inward. Yeah, that's all good. Let's create an indent out here. So let's add inset, and let's extrude, and let's add a bevel. Control P to make kind of, yeah, now it's looking good. So now let's mirror this to the other side. Let's copy this one, Shift Control D, and then R, and Y and then 90. Yep, that's great. So S and X6 and G and S and then X to scale a little bit down, and then G to adjust the position. Yep, it's all good. So let's go to top view, or let's straight, and then G and then press Y and then yep, it's all good. Now let's select these two objects and then it's looking where I don't know what this is, but it's okay, it's not a big problem. So let's add a modifier, mirror modifier, and select the object. That's good. I don't know what's this, or maybe let's see if we can fix this one. Nope. These two edges, yep. Alt and then delete edges. Yep, that's good. And let's give a mirror modifier to this cube. So press mirror and select this. Yep, it's all good. Now let's texture it, and to texture go to shading and let's add a new material. And let's select this one and let's maybe foot, and then let's add a material like dark brown maybe. Yep, that's one. And let's increase the roughness, or maybe we can add a metallic to tone. Now let's transfer this material to other materials. To do that, by select all the material that you want to color this similar with this lake. So, and I'm going to select this weapon too. And now you can press Control. Yeah, we need to select the foot at the last, so that we can give these textures to the other objects that we have selected. To do that, press Control and then press L and link material. Yep, and that's how we share the one material with another. Select this, let's add a similar, Control L and link material. Now let's add a new material, maybe kind of gray. That's good. And now let's add a metallic. Maybe this is okay. And let's select all the parts that we want to give the similar material. Now let's say Control L and then we forgot to select the object that have that with the material. So let's redo it, Control N, then material. That's great. Now we're going to create a kind of a reflective surface to the window of the maquette. To add a new thing, let's add a new by pressing in slot 1, add, and we can add a new and make it roughness to 0, metallic to full, and yep, that's good. And how we add is we need to go to edit mode by pressing tab and then select the faces, this face, this face, and this face. And let's give its base color to, nope, it's adding to other things. No, oh, we need to select this material that we've selected. It's not changing, I don't know what's happening. Let's manage this one. Let's delete this slot. Let's select this thing and then add a slot, and then we add Shift A, go to texture, maybe shader, not a texture, principal BSDF, or maybe we can create a new material, add new one. Yep. Roughness 0, metallic. It's working. I don't know what happened. Maybe I'll figure it later and then I'll repost it. So yep, that's it for how to do today's video. Maybe I will figure out the problem and show you in the next class. And this much for today's video, and thank you. Bye bye, see you next time.